In the last several months, JT Miller has been getting slammed on social media. He's a bad teammate.
Now finally Miller whacks the crossbar.
He's toxic.
There's a lot of rumors about your relationship with JT Miller.
If the emotional is the right word, I mean, he wants to win so bad, and sometimes he maybe gets too hot-headed. He cares a lot and just wants to win.
He sucks at the game of ice hockey.
Picks it off. Okay, make a safe play. Where are you going?
And during an intermission, JT Miller would paint a much different picture. Because, I'll say it, JT Miller does not deserve the slander. Hear me out. Has there been instances where he blows a fuse, such as slamming the crossbar to tell the goalie to go to the bench? But I am failing to understand how that makes JT Miller a bad hockey player. If you have ever played hockey at a competitive level, some players are wired in a way where they get fueled by emotion, and some guys let their emotion take control, which can lead to them being an ass. But does that make them a bad teammate? Obviously depending on the context, but aside from a few lapses, show me what JT Miller has done. This is just speculation.
500th career point, but is it nice to get it in this building where you collected a lot of them?
I'm gonna be honest, I actually forgot about it, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did you notice that?
I'm gonna be honest, I actually forgot about it, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Although subtle, I will say, what JT Miller just said speaks volume. Because during this game, JT Miller would score his 500th career point. An amazing accomplishment. JT Miller didn't even care enough to remember. He was focused on his team and winning the game, which really highlights that the guy is passionate. He wants to win. And for those of you who are like, you know, whatever, tell me when he scores 1,000. There has been nearly 10,000 players who have played in the NHL, and just over 500 of which have scored 500 or more points. To either score or assist on 500 goals in the best league in the world is a big deal. And this brings me to my next point. JT Miller is not a bad player. Has he had defensive lapses that look horrible? Yeah, but he's also coming off a 99-point season and is on a 75-point, 30-goal pace this year. So regardless of his brutal defensive lapses, how can anyone objectively say JT Miller is a quote-unquote bad player? Is it because he signed an $8 million contract? There is definitely an argument that Vancouver should not have paid so much, but in the same breath, what player coming off a near 100-point season has signed a contract for substantially less than $8 million? There's none. This is more about Vancouver signing Miller over Horvat, not Miller himself. Don't be mad at Miller for taking the money. Get mad at ownership. But this isn't the only thing I gathered from this interview.
Congrats, good luck on the third. Thanks, Murph.
That's great. Yeah, thanks, Burr. Sometimes it's hard to be reflective in the middle of the game.
Carolyn Cameron would emphasize that the fact JT Miller was giving great reflective answers. Most NHL players, and I mean, I don't blame them, are like, yeah, I gotta get pucks in deep, I see ya. This interview highlights the emotion Miller plays with, something the NHL lacks. Character, emotion, drama. So I'll ask you this. If someone you work with does a great job, in fact, they're one of your top workers for your company, if they can be an ass sometimes, should they get fired? This is what many hockey fans and Canucks fans are implying.